watching 48 Fastcast.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Margot Gray with this 48 Fastcast, your digital version of our top headlines in a short, to the point, fast newscast. It's already Wednesday, so here we go. We begin with breaking news in Limestone County, where the truck driver accused of causing multiple crashes on I-65 and killing a college football player is denied bond. So this news just came down within the last hour. John McAdams is charged with murder, driving under the influence, and leaving the scene of an accident. We were there during his preliminary hearing Tuesday. You see this video here, where state troopers said McAdams admitted to drinking a full bottle of tequila and ingesting the stimulant kratom before going 90 miles per hour down I-65, causing 27 miles of terror. State troopers say he hit 8 cars, including William Hardrick's car, whose car flipped multiple times near Piney Chapel Road, killing him. McAdams will remain in jail until his trial starts. A former Alabama bank vice president pleaded guilty to an embezzlement scheme in federal court today. Kelly Johnson faced a federal judge in Huntsville to formally enter her guilty plea. She admitted to embezzling more than $2 million since 2013. Johnson worked for First Community Bank in Coleman. Her plea calls for her to pay $2.3 million back in restitution. Her sentencing will take place in August. Well, a man accused in the shooting death of a Sheffield police sergeant will stay out of court a while longer. Brian Martin's status hearing was slated for today, but will now take place in September. Court records show the hearing is delayed because the Department of Mental Health still needs to evaluate him. This is Martin's second mental evaluation, by the way. His first one was back in 2022 after entering a plea of not guilty by mental defect. Martin was indicted for capital murder in Sergeant Nick Reisner's death back in October of 2021. Well, Governor Kay Ivey is putting pen to paper on the Focus Act. That's banning cell phones in Alabama public classrooms. So the legislation requires students' phones to be turned off and stored elsewhere during school hours. In this photo, you can see Governor Ivey there putting her own cell phone in a pouch while she signed that bill. So the bill does contain exceptions for children with health issues who may need their cell phones. The Focus Act also requires the Alabama State Department of Education to offer social media safety training for all students before they get into the 8th grade. The bill will go into effect at the start of the next academic year.
Now, Margo, we've been rain-free most of the day, but out west we have some showers, even thunderstorms in northern Mississippi. Let's go to the radar and show you what we're talking about. Nothing severe, but a strong thunderstorm here on Highway 45 south of Corinth. That's tracking to the east and a bit southeast, so may impact areas of Colbert County. And there's also a brief shower there along south of Tuscumbia over there on Highway 43. We're going to see a fairly quiet evening, though, but still a rogue shower or thunderstorm possible through sunset. 83 currently in Huntsville, but it feels warmer than that. It's a muggy day and a real heat wave starting for the rest of the week. Tomorrow's highs will be around 90 degrees. It's going to feel like the low 90s, so get ready for that. We do get a break overnight tonight. No rain expected. I think the south wind keeps up enough to keep us from seeing fog. And then our next weather makers coming in overnight Friday night into Saturday morning. We'll be talking more about that coming up. But tomorrow looks like the nicest day we've had so far this month.
Okay, we'll make sure to soak it up. Well, still ahead, a local hospital is celebrating a milestone for one of its life-saving devices. Stay right here. So the Decatur Morgan Hospital is celebrating a medical milestone today. Staff at the hospital performed the 1,000th scan on a GE Omni Legend device. So since its installation in 2023, leaders say the device is now an integral part of how hospital employees diagnose patients. It helps them perform PET CT scans, including oncology and cardiovascular imaging.
Now, your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis.
Still about an hour away from the start of the evening commute. Things are in pretty good shape here on 565. It's 83. It's partly cloudy, partly sunny officially, and we'll see partly sunny conditions tomorrow and then Friday as well. But we've got a few thunderstorms back here south of Corinth in Mississippi. They're tracking east-southeast, probably going to affect areas of Colbert County during our 4 o'clock newscast. Also a spotty shower here south of Tuscumbia. That's going to head towards Cortland and then the Moulton area as well, especially on the north side of Moulton. It's a warm, muggy day, the first really warm and muggy day we've had in a while, and it's because we didn't start off with all the rain like we have lately. Here's another look at the radar and satellite showing you the spotty showers kind of developing. Another disturbance coming in around this upper level low that's just plagued us for about a week now. That will continue to move off to the northeast, and we'll have improving conditions, especially for tomorrow. As we get into the 4 o'clock hour, the model guidance really kind of says this isn't going to amount to a whole lot, but it only takes 1 or 2 showers out there or an isolated downpour like we have now in Mississippi to kind of dampen some of your evening plans. And you can see Scottsboro just down to south towards Fort Payne and Rainsville around 6 or 7 o'clock. Once the sun sets, everything quiets down just like last night. And we got a mostly clear night tonight, and the south wind's coming back, and that's what's going to lift those temperatures. We expect a mostly cloudy start to your Thursday, but the clouds will kind of filter out as we get later into the day. And it's going to be a very warm day. By noon, already in the low 80s, and then we'll continue to warm up into the upper 80s. For tonight, 67, partly cloudy, down to 67 again, probably tomorrow night too. 87 for the high. Southerly winds tomorrow, a little bit more of a breeze, but better pool weather out there. Here's your 10-day forecast. Coming up during our 4 o'clock newscast today, we'll talk more about the thunderstorm threat overnight, Friday night into Saturday morning. But overall, another chance for rain, another weekend.
All right, I told you it was fast. That'll do it for us, but we will have a live report on that bond denial for the truck driver accused of killing a college student on the highway. We'll also check in on the Fayetteville community rallying around a family also struck by a highway tragedy. We'll be back here on air at 4 o'clock. And then don't forget, we have breaking news coming up at 5, 6, and 10. We'll have you covered. Have a good afternoon.